Seemed like it's been forever since we played. After that last game, you want to take a little bit of time off, but you know, you have a non-conference schedule you go through, and that's getting you ready for Big Ten play for us. So excited to get back out on the football field. We're excited to play in front of a national, TV audience again, which is a big thing for our program as we kind of move forward. Last year against Nebraska, we played a good game for the majority of the game, but we weren't able to finish it. Of course, last time we played them here, big win for our program. So again, it doesn't take an awful lot to really get fired up for this game. Also, the excitement that goes along with recognizing our Hall of Fame, our inaugural Hall of Fame class too. I think 3 members of our that have a direct football tie. And our football team this year, there are ways that our team can get decals that we put on our helmets. And to honor 2 of those great players, of course, Red Grange and Dick Buckus, offensive players can get decals when they do something good. Individually, team-wise, 77 decal on the helmet. The same thing with our defensive players, with Dick Buckus, a 50 decal. So, again, a lot of excitement. For us, offensively, it's about putting points on the board. I think we're about as healthy as we've been in a while. I assume we're going to have just about everybody ready to go, which is a big deal. So, points on the board. And defensively, just for our football team as a whole, playing harder, being more physical are some of the things that we need to get accomplished. Take your question.
Is James Crawford one of those that's going to be available for you this week?
James Crawford will be available this week. Arguably, definitely one of our best players on our team. So to be able to add a player like that into the mix is big for us.
Larry Boyd, one of those healthy players.
We're hoping. I assume we're going to have. We'll see, of course, today where everybody is, but we're hoping that we'll have just about everybody ready to go. But Darren Lowe was able to get some plays in last week. Reggie Corbin has gotten different plays, so we're almost at full speed again.
Is Dre Brown going to play football this year?
Hope so. He's healthy. So heading in that direction of being 100% ready to go. When I say we should have just about everybody, again, we've got to get to practice today, but that's Dre Brown. I think that's just about everybody. It should be fairly close to being ready to go.
What was your focus of practice the last week or the off week versus this week?
Yeah, as a general rule, bye week's about self-evaluation. We moved on to our next opponent, to Nebraska, late, but especially with the mental part of the game. But early on, more training camp type practices, fundamental work, as much as anything is what we were trying to clean up. Also, getting healthy. That's the time to, take a little bit of time. I'll let the bodies heal up a little bit too. And that's the standard way that we handle a bye week.
What do you feel like you've learned about the team? You talk about the importance heading into Big Ten play, just identity-wise, or how you define the team.
Well, I think what we've learned is that we can be a pretty good football team. Of course, the goal was to win all 3 of our games, especially the first 2 games. First game had to come back, to win it. At the end, had to make plays, had to finish it the right way. Second game, we were able to get off to a faster start. To see a lot of young players, now we know, have an idea what they can do in a game situation. And now we need to see about coming back, how we come back from a big loss, a game that we didn't play our best football, a game where, of course, we can play a lot better than that. So, and again, everything is set up. It's about Big Ten play for us, and we have an opportunity, a big opportunity ahead of us.
Lovie, with all the new players that you've had played so far this year, what have you learned from your team through the first 3 games?
That's a lot of things. When you're playing for the first time, it's from A to Z. First off, we got to go through a pregame routine with them. What we do on game day, how you go come out of from the half. Then how you respond in situations when you're in a position to make plays, as much as anything. Mental part. There's just a lot of things that we've learned. So it's hard to just say it, put a couple things there. It's just that our guys are growing up is what we've learned. And, of course, we're not talking a lot about freshman guys anymore. These are young players on our team that get better and better each rep they get.
Did you see quarterbacks during the bye week?
The same things we've been seeing. And guys, keep in mind, I mean, bye weeks, we don't play, but we've been practicing throughout with the guys. It's not like we all of a sudden are going to see something that we haven't seen. But we want it, again, to use that time to get better in everything that we ask the guys to do. Our guys show up to work each day. They do what they're asked to do, and they try to get better, and that's what we're doing. And each week we want to see improvement throughout in their entire game as much as anything.
You mentioned the idea of self-evaluation. What do you want Chase to focus on this week for those improvements?
I mean, I'm not trying to run away from your question, but, I mean, self-evaluation is an entire game. There's just not one thing that we can say. There's a lot that goes into quarterback play. It's everything. Your preparation. Have 3 games. This is the routine you've gone through. How did that work for you? Is there something you need to tweak with it? Decision. It's always about decision making as a quarterback. Option-wise, when you give the ball, when you keep it. Pass, when you let the ball go. There's just a lot of things that goes in. It's overall play. It's what we're asking all of our players to do. It's just not one thing that you can say. And you just keep grinding daily with that, and that's what we're doing. And we hope to see improvement from the quarterback, Mike linebacker, cornerback, center, all of our positions, coaching, all the positions this week. We should see improvement.
You mentioned at the start that offensively it's about putting points on the board. What do you feel like you can do to kind of generate a little more offense in that?
Run our plays better. And guys, I believe I'm trying to answer your question as best I can, but there's not just one. I wish I could just say, hey, let's do this. We go better. It's everything. All right? It's 11 guys doing their job the proper way, consistently, being consistently good each play. It's what we're trying to do with every position on our football team. It's just that. And we think we are. And when there's something that you don't like that you've done, you practice it, you meet about it, and then you get to a position where you can play another game, and you see how that practice has transitioned into the play at the game. That's what I think we're going to see this week. We'll go back to work today with that.
Nebraska's had some ups and downs already this season. What do you see out of them offensively?
I see offensively, I see a commitment to the run. And then that's what you expect from a Nebraska team. And there are more traditional runs. There's some, read option type plays, but we see a commitment to the run offensively, a quarterback that's a little bit different than what they've had. I would say that he's more of a thrower than a traditional, athletic running quarterback. And defensively, it's the same type of approach you see, good hard-nosed, guys that know what they're doing, physical at the point of attack. That's what we're going to see on the defensive side. Return game-wise, they have 2 returners. They've gotten plays from the return game that's helped them win football games too.
For Lewis Dorsey had his best of his 3 games so far. What do you see from him to make him successful against South Florida?
Well, I think Lewis, everything you're looking for in a tight end, in a young tight end, he has. Now it's just not about a wide inline blocker. I wouldn't say that's his strong suit, even though he can do it, but I think he's a good matchup in the passing game. Whether it's spreading him out, just inline, again, a matchup with a linebacker and a safety. He can catch the football. I think he's a weapon that we need to use more often.
Jeff George Jr. got an opportunity in the second half. How have you seen him respond this week knowing he's got an opportunity?
I think one thing you can say about Jeff is that he's consistent throughout. Whether he gets a lot of plays in, a lot of practice reps or not, I think if he's called upon, he's going to come into the football game and do what we ask him. We're bringing him in to throw the football, and I think he can throw it. He has confidence in his arm. And again, he's willing to let the ball go. So he's not a high, low guy. He's same level each day. He does his job. He blends in with any part of our football team well. Good part of the team.
Where have you seen him take the biggest things from last year, though?
Well, you know, he just really played one time, and it was a tough situation. I think he came in and took a snap and threw some balls, you know, had a little bit of success while he was out there. So that's where he is. He hadn't played an awful lot right now, but Jeff has been our relief hitter. You bring a relief hitter in there when you need something a little bit different than what you've been getting. I think that's what he'll provide for us whenever and if we decide to use him in that form, in that way.
Is he still your relief hitter?
I'm sorry?
Is he still your relief hitter?
I would say he came in relief last week. When you say relief hitter, we have quarterbacks on our team, like we have a lot of players on our team. In that game, we asked Jeff to be our relief hitter, yes. And that's where we've asked him. That's been his role since he's been here. We're not making no changes been made in anything like that.
Tito Denebo's no longer on the roster that we had. What's the situation? What happened?
Well, Tito, when you say he's no longer on the roster, you know, there are times when guys, some team rules aren't exactly what they should be, and guys take a little break from time to time, and that's kind of where it is with Tito right now. Tito's still on our football team. I will say that.
Coach, I wanted to ask you about your thoughts on everything that's happened this weekend as far as the kneeling or, you know, teams staying in the locker room for the NFL. Just your thoughts, and how would you handle that situation?
I mean, a lot of thoughts will actually go into where we're at right now. I mean, I think, you know, there's guys taking a stand against what they feel is right in our country, things said about private citizens, just our president as a whole. I mean, is our president a role model? I'm asking you. I think we would all say yes. So I think there's certain things you expect him to say and certain things you don't expect him to do. What has happened right now has kind of brought a lot of people together. A way to voice your opinion on what you think is right and wrong is through the vote. I voted for a certain person because I believed in what they stood for. The presidency of our United States, I think there's a certain level of respect and just how you assume that position would behave in every situation. And that's not the case right now. For this many people to feel like they need to take a stand against it, something is wrong. But, you know, for me, my opinions haven't changed an awful lot on why I voted for a certain person. And what we're talking about right now, I coach college students here. And we teach them that if you have an opinion, you say it. If there's something you don't like, be educated in what you say and voice your opinion at all times. Constitutionally, we have a right to do that. So I think that covers an awful lot about what's going on right now.
You guys talked about it as a team. I know a lot of people, are emotional about it, but it seemed like it's a big point in
Well, for us, we talk about current things always. And to me, on what's happening right now doesn't change our program on what we do. What I've told Shannon, our players, again, I'm going to go back to the election. We want you to be involved in everything that's happening in your community, in your country, period. Be educated about it, have information, and then make your voice known. That's what we tell all of our students. They have an opinion. Use your opinion at all times. Have we talked about this incident? No. I mean, we're on bye week. I mean, I haven't talked with our football team since last Wednesday, per se. But we talk about current events always. And, again, I don't think I have to change up what I tell our team right now. If you have an opinion, speak for you, all right, at any time. You don't have to do that during a game. You can do it at any time. Today, you're going to talk to our athletes. They can give you their opinion at any time on what they feel. That's what I tell our football team always.
When you're in front of a camera, or when you're in front of a group of cameras or on the field, are you still conscious of modeling the behaviors that you want to see in others, or is it just so familiar now?
Absolutely, I am. And that's why I say some of us are role models. Do we hold our athletes? Do we say that our athletes are role models? Do you expect them to behave a certain way? Any leader, I think you would say yes. And I think that's how we should all be judged, by that same standard. Every last one of us. Are we? Are you holding our leaders to that? I'm asking you. Are you? I mean, is it okay for someone to call another American those names? Is it okay? I'm asking you. Is it? Is that okay? Is that what we believe? If it is, I guess make your opinion known. To me, it's not. Other question?
From my understanding, it's pregame is the timing where the team's not out for the national anthem. As the players ever discuss, wanting to be out there for any reason?
We don't come out before it, so we're not going to change up what we do. We have the same opinion. Again, what's happening right now doesn't dictate how we do things. We don't come out before. We're not going to now. But our guys all have opinions about what's going on.
You not coming out is not a statement, it's just how your pregame routine goes.
This is how we've been doing it all along. Okay. Should we change it up now? No, this is how we do it. You want to know our opinion? We give you our opinion. I think what's happening right now is wrong, like everybody else. I would assume everybody in the room, does anybody in the room, ask you, does anybody in the room, do you like what's happening right now? If you do, make it known. Just declare what you like and then go that way. Fair enough? I don't hear anybody saying anything.
I don't.
Fair enough. Other question?
Well, you were out on the road recruiting last week.
Did you see our bus or something?
Specifically in the St. Louis area, that very important to you. Just how is that going, and how is the week?
I mean, recruiting is going. I mean, we have a great university. I believe in it. I think others should have my same belief on that. St. Louis area, of course, is close. We have 2 freshmen starting from St. Louis right now, another that plays. It's an area that we need to do well in. There's great high school football down there, so we'll be recruiting that area. We've done it in the past. It's a strong effort for us to do well in that recruiting area right now. So it's going okay. To be able, that's why to me it's important for us to play, and it'd be televised nationally for other people to see, what this young football team is doing. A great chance to make a statement this week.
What is the reaction to the bus?
The bus was a star. When you're a star, people want to take pictures with the stars, right? So it gets your attention as much as anything. We don't like to just blend in. White sometime, but orange is good from time to time, too.
Coach, we questions for the phone lines for Lovie Smith?
Yeah, I've got one, Coach. This is Paul Banks, the sportsbank.net. I wanted to get your thoughts on your good friend Charles Tillman going to join the FBI. That news came out last week, and how do you think Peanut's going to do in his new career?
Well, Peanut has always had an interest in law enforcement. I know from our time together, we share a common, like as far as that is concerned. So it's not a surprise. I know Peanut has a variety of interests that's important to him right now. So I know he'll do well with it, but it wasn't a shock to me at all by any means.